Hello, hi, how are you? Good morning, good afternoon, whatever time it is when you are watching. It is time for another anti-haul, so let's get into it. First off, if you found your way here, you're obviously lost, but that's okay. I'm happy to have you. I'm happy you found your way here. Secondly, my hair is still wet because it's early in the morning. I have to film when there's daylight, and there's typically, storms here, whatever, so that's why my hair is still wet. Don't judge me. You've been there too. Thirdly, if you've never been here and never seen an anti-haul from me, hello, hi, welcome. And I don't show pictures on the screen when I do an anti-haul. There's a very specific reason that I do this. When I watch anti-hauls, I found that sometimes I get attracted to the products, even though that someone was anti-hauling them, but then I'd look at them and be like, ooh, like maybe I need that. Like they don't like it, but maybe I do. And I feel like that's a giant trap whenever you're watching anti-hauls or new beauty releases. So we are cutting that out because I am a terrible person who cannot control myself. And so don't take any offense if you can control yourself. It's just more for me than anyone else. And also, if you love these products and I am trashing them, hating them, I'm sorry. Everyone has their own taste. You might think that my makeup is awful and I'm an awful person. I will say that I am like the typical makeup consumer where I love neutral and boring things. So that if that's not your bag and I am just anti-hauling left and right colorful palettes, colorful things, I'm so sorry. But let's get into it. That's enough talking from me. I'm gonna shut up now. So before we begin, again, everything that I'm listing here, I'm reading off of Trend Mood. I don't follow Trend Mood, but you totally should if you like new makeup releases. And the first thing I'm going to be talking about is the Tarte Cosmetics new Powered by Marijuana. I don't know, some oil collection, okay? Now, like I said, like I prefaced this video, I am a neutral lover. I love neutrals, I love neutral things, and most of my collection is neutral. Come at me in the comments if you want, but I'm the very typical average makeup consumer that everyone talks about. That's me. Hi, hello, how are you? So that's me, and when I saw this collection, I was confused. Now, I'm not someone who buys a lot of Tarte products. I have like one blush from them that was their free birthday gift a while back, but I do love that blush. I have hit pan on it, so I do like Tarte products. Like from what I've tried, I've liked it. I've loved it actually. And yet when I saw this collection, I'm like, who is this? Where does this fit into anything? Tarte? What? I thought you had like a foundation or a BB cream. That's the thing about Tarte. I don't know what they have and what they don't have. Like they're one of those brands that's so cryptic because I honestly, nothing in my brain sticks out when I think of Tarte. Maybe like those little round palettes that they had, the Rainforest of the Sea nonsense, and like their blushes. And that's what sticks out when I think about Tarte. So now I saw like these like tinted skin foundation cream things, and I was like, don't you already have those? Like, why are you trying it again? I don't get it. I don't know. They have like a new face mist too, and and their lip glosses. Don't they already have lip gloss? Don't they have lip gloss and squeezy tubes? And from what I know, those are pretty popular. So like, why are you trying again? And it's like a brush tip lip gloss. Glossy lip oil. I'm sorry. It's a glossy lip oil. That's so much different, right? I just don't get it. What does this add? What? Tell me. What does this add to your collection, Tarte? I don't get it. And as someone who, like, your brand is aimed towards, like, someone who's, like, rainforest, like, neutral lover vibes, why don't I get it? Someone explain that. I don't know. I don't like it. We're anti-hauling it. Goodbye. So, Colourpop, a surprise, has decided to bless us with makeup sponges from Colourpop. Who would have thought? I'm actually kind of surprised by this release. I don't know why. I thought that they had makeup sponges before. Maybe they didn't, and I just didn't know. But I was kind of surprised by this release. But like, a kind of happy surprise. You can get 5 different types of sponges now from Colourpop. Like, that's great. And then I saw that they were selling them in a bundle box of all 5. And my mind just was like, what? Like, the Beauty Blender and other sponges have been out. Microfiber sponges, regular sponges, whatever the fuck sponges. They have been out for so fucking long. It has been so long since those were released and brought into the universe that everyone knows whether they like a microfiber versus like a normal sponge by now. Like, if you don't and you're just getting into makeup, congrats. Like, you have a lot to learn, because I didn't know the difference at first, but like anyone who's been around makeup for a while knows what they prefer. So why would you buy a box set unless you're like a review channel to review it? Like, I don't get that. I would never buy a box set because I know what I like. And that's what really annoyed me about this release, and most releases in general, is that you can buy PR kits and buy boxes of things even if you know that you won't like them. Like, if you won't like half the products, you can still buy them. Also, part of me was like, okay, this is a good release though, because it's a cheaper sponge, right? Like, everyone's always complaining that the Beauty Blender is $20. Well, there are so many other cheaper sponges on the market even than this Colourpop one. Like the Shop Miss A Paw Paw Blender, the original one. Beautiful, wonderful. And I say that as someone who was not a convert to the sponge game until recently. Until recently, I was using my fingers, or I'd use like a concealer brush to put on my concealer, but then I started using a sponge and I'm like, this is so much better. Like, for a liquid concealer, this is so much better. So I'm a recent convert to the sponge game, and even I know that having that huge whole box wouldn't be necessary for me. It's not something that I want to try. It's not something that I care about. And it really annoys me when companies just like put everything in one box and they're like, oh, you can buy it as a PR kit. And like, at first I'm like, oh my God, like such a great deal. My head doesn't align with my words sometimes. I will warn you of that. Because in my head, I'm like, oh my God, that's such a great deal. Like, I love to have all of these things. Like, wonderful. It's such a great value. And then I have to step back and be like, girl, you wouldn't use half that shit in the box. Like, you don't like, I don't know, you don't like matte liquid lipsticks. You don't like microfiber sponges. Why are you even thinking this? Like, it's not a good deal unless you use every single thing in the box. And so that's also something that I'm trying to get used to. And it's really wasteful. Like, I know it's wasteful to buy kits and sets, and yet I still get trapped into it sometimes. It's wasteful because if you don't use those things, you just end up throwing them away, or, I mean, you throw them away or you give them to someone else. Giving them to someone else is obviously preferred, but a lot of the times, like with liquid lipsticks and stuff, you can't give them to someone else. Or like with sponges, I'm not going to give my friend like my old sponge and be like, here, I tried this a couple times and didn't like it. Would you like the sponge with all the bacteria from my face on it? They would say no. So I will not be getting that, but I understand its place in the market, and I think it's actually a smart move. I just don't personally need it. Our girl ABH is releasing something that is not a palette, and I am very surprised. Now, I know they've been trying to bulk up their range, like, by getting in, like, more bronzers and blushes. That's my next prediction, by the way. They will be putting out new blushes and bronzers for their range because all of their other ones have been popping up at Marshalls and TJ Maxx, and no one likes them. So I predict that that'll be the next thing, but, pay me later for my predictions. If I'm right, I'm sorry. I'm being a little crazy. Anyway, so I predict that they're going to be trying to fill out their range so that you can do a full face of ABH. I mean, it only makes sense, right? They have so many palettes. People have complained that they're releasing too many palettes, so what's the next direction that they can go in to still make money? It is obviously that they're going to try and make full face range. So this is a mascara that they are releasing, and people have been complaining because they're like, oh, it looks like the Fenty component, like it looks like the Fenty mascara. I don't even know what to say to that. Like, everything looks like something, right? Like, the hourglass shaped wand, we've seen that a million times. That looks like Too Faced Better Than Sex mascara. And, like, it has the same, like, rose pink tone. Oh my God, they're copying. I hate this constant talk of copying. There is a difference when something is a complete and blatant ripoff, and whereas something was inspired by or wasn't even trying to be related and just happened to be related. Newsflash, hourglass-shaped wands have been around for a long-ass time, and they're one of the most popular, if not the most popular, mascara wand available. Second newsflash, rose gold is incredibly popular, especially within the beauty community because of how well it photographs, how beautiful it looks, how it matches with both gold and silver. Like, it's incredibly popular and it's incredibly photogenic. So in no way do I think that they were trying to copy Fenty. And with that being said, I will still not be buying this because Essence Lash Princess is $5, and I swear by that stuff. The green tube of that is just, a holy grail. I've tried the Too Faced Better Than Sex mascara, which used to be everyone's favorite. I prefer the I mean, I prefer the Lash Princess, and the Lash Princess is $5, and sometimes you can even get it on sale at Ulta. So do that instead. There's no reason. Mascara is something that you repurchase and rebuy so often. You should be changing your mascara out about every 3 months, so that's 4 times a year. 4 times a year times what, $25 for a high-end mascara? That's $100 a year that you're buying mascara, when you could just buy mascara for $20 a year at Essence and get the same effect. I'm telling you, please listen to my gospel, because I used to be in that trap, and now I've forever left. So that's why I'm anti-hauling the ABH mascara. I have a mascara that I like. I don't need it. I should just close my eyes and back away. Back when I began my makeup journey, I was definitely one of those people who said, well, what's the difference between drugstore and high-end? Like, isn't drugstore just as good? You're just wasting your money. You're paying too much for something. It's stupid. Just go buy the drugstore. You can find a dupe, whatever. Goodbye. But now that I've gotten farther in my makeup journey, I do understand that there is a difference between drugstore and high-end. However, I don't understand the difference between like Sephora brands and like high-end brands. Like Yves Saint Laurent, for example, because that's what we're going to be talking about. Yves Saint Laurent has released the new Rouge Volta Rock and Shine lipstick. And I'm guessing these are going to be about $37 like all of the rest of their lipsticks. They're somewhere between $30 and $40. I don't get the difference between Sephora brands and like high-end brands like YSL, Dior, whatever. I don't get the difference personally, but then again, I look back and I think, well, I used to not understand the difference between NYX and Too Faced. So maybe I'm just missing something. Maybe I need to try more of their products. But the things that I have tried from Dior and YSL haven't been life-changing or revolutionary. Maybe I just tried the wrong products. But for that reason, I'm anti-hauling this. Also, I have kind of a thing against luxury fashion in general, because while YSL, the beauty brand, is technically different than YSL, the clothing line, they're still run by the same people, and if you know anything about luxury fashion, it's incredibly wasteful, and, you know, it's not the best for the environment, because luxury fashion stems fast fashion, and then, like, having 4 seasons of clothing a year, I just don't get it, and that's also a reason why I won't be supporting YSL or any, you know, designer house. And so I saw these lipsticks and I'm like, they seem like a tinted lip balm. Like, I can find that elsewhere. I'm not. Like, Urban Decay, their sheer lipsticks, their sheer Vice lipsticks, beautiful. Love those. I'd rather buy one of those for $18 than buy a YSL one for more expensive and support something that I don't necessarily support, which is luxury fashion. Hopping over to the drugstore end of things now, after I just talked about Essence, we are now going to talk about BH Cosmetics and their new Romantic palette. Now, when I saw this picture of this palette, I thought in my head, wait, is this a restock? Like, didn't they already release that palette? I feel like I've seen that, like, either the London Calling one or something is very similar to that. It's like a cool-toned palette. I don't know, like, it's just... like, I'd pay like maybe $2 for it. I don't get why it was even made. So that's really all I have to say, and this is from a cool tone lover. I don't get why this was even brought into fruition. So sorry, I love BH too, but like, they've fallen off the roads with making anything creative and fun since that Zodiac palette. Sorry, not sorry. Okay, we're hopping back over to ABH. Like, I can't make up my mind how I want to do this. So, ABH is putting out the new Nicole Guerrero. Well, it's not new. It's been around. They're re-releasing, restocking, re-putting back in their shelves the Nicole Guerrero highlighter palette that was limited edition a while back and everyone loved and went crazy over. And when I first saw this, I was like, oh my god, like, you are so beautiful. I saw that white shade in there and I'm like, sign me the fuck up. Like, that is, oof, like, I want that, like, white pale shade. And then I looked at the swatches for it. And here's the problem. I am extremely pale. Like, if you can't tell, I match this white sweater, basically. I'm extremely, extremely pale. I'm the color of my white wall. Like, you know I'm pale. And when I saw the swatches, realistically, the white one would work with a heavy hand. Fine, no problem. There are 2 in there that could work if I, like, used a very light hand, very light blush, like, you know, a little light swatch. And then the other 3 are like, where am I going to be putting that? Not on my face. I would look like 2 dark streaks on my face to highlight. That would be hideous and not right. And by no way am I saying that this palette shouldn't include those colors. This palette should definitely include those colors because there are women of deeper skin tones, aka pretty much every woman who is darker than me probably will love this. Like, this is probably wonderful for them, and I'm so happy that they can have something like this. But that's the problem with kits and palettes when you're either really light or really dark. Like, there's like 1 or 2 shades you can use, and on the dark spectrum too, there's like 1 or 2 shades that you can use without looking ridiculous. So that's my problem with this, but it is really beautiful and I do really love it. And if they made a single of that white shade, I would be forever grateful, because I have the Dream Glow kit, and that one also I cannot use on my face because it is too dark and looks ridiculous. But I love those colors. I love the texture. Like, I wish that I could just get that white one and just have it be mine. And I wish companies would stop putting out palettes. I get why they do. You can charge higher for it. Like, it's more popular. Everyone will buy it. Whatever, whatever, whatever. But like I said, when you're a really light-skinned person or a really dark-skinned person, it kind of sucks because this is made for someone with like a medium skin tone, and everyone else in here is just kind of being left out, and I'm not going to buy something that I can't use most of. And as a side tangent, I feel like light-skinned people, like really, really fair-skinned people like me, and dark-skinned people often have the same problem in the beauty community. And I'm not saying that racism is the same for both people, because it's really not. It's not comparable. But what I'm talking about is when you buy like a palette or something, we often have the same issue of not all the colors will work for us. And I think that's a common thing that I've seen, and I feel like that's made me very sympathetic to the struggles of all types of people, because, girl, like, if you can't use something, it's really devastating and sucks, and I just hate that for everyone. So I really wish that ABH would put out these highlighters in separate components, and so I can just buy the one, and that so my dark skinned friends can just buy, you know, the 2 or 3 that they want, whatever works for them. Fenty is here. Fenty is back, and Fenty is coming with a vengeance for my soul. So Fenty has released these new cream cheek products. They have a cream cheek blush and a cream cheek bronzer. Anyway, they have a cream cheek bronzer, and they are so beautiful. They are in the typical Fenty packaging where it is white and like kind of like iridescent, and it is just the beautiful shape and everything. As someone, this might sound really nerdy, but as someone who's studying math, when things are like fun shaped and like geometrically interesting, I am like so into it. Is that weird? I feel like that's definitely like a weird thing to be into. But when things have fun geometric shapes, I just like the equation for the shape pops up in my... That's so nerdy. Oh my god. Yikes. Anyway, I love the packaging. Ugh, beautiful, beautiful work. And I love that they chose to do cream, because I feel like that's where the makeup community is going. We've had all these powders for so long. We had like the full beat look, and now we're kind of going back to like the more natural, like I just ate a popsicle, my lips are stained, like I'm just so like iridescent and beautiful and shiny and dewy. And so I think they made a really smart move by releasing these. Like, they're objectively gorgeous, and the colors that they chose are so beautiful and so diverse. Like, they have like this orange color that's called Fuego Flesh, beautiful. They have more of a purpley color called Bikini Martini, beautiful. Like, every color that they've released, like, I look at it and I'm like, those are so beautiful and so diverse and so wonderful, and you know that they are going to be working on every skin tone possible. So like, beautiful, wonderful. And their range of bronzers too, while we're at it, they have a like wonderful range of bronzers. They're like 6 cream colors, and of course, knowing Fenty, that they're probably going to release more, which is like wonderful. And speaking of Fenty, they recently released 2 more matchsticks and even darker contour colors, which is just amazing, because there was a viral video going around of a girl being like, this is the first time a contour stick has ever contoured me. And I'm like, that is so wonderful. Like, that's such great news. Like, do you follow any of those Instagram accounts that are just happy news? Because that's what I do, and that should be on there because I'm just so happy for her. I'm so happy that the makeup industry is expanding and including more people, even if we have more room to grow and more, like, we need to make more progress. I'm just so happy that she was able to find something like that. And I love Fenty. Everything I've tried for them, I like, except the Gloss Bomb. But the only reason I don't like the Gloss Bomb is because of that damn smell. I'm incredibly allergic to smells. They give me migraines. It's bad. And I can't use that gloss. And it makes me really sad because it's so beautiful. But can't win everything, right? I realized I forgot to mention why I'm anti-hauling these. I'm anti-hauling these because realistically I don't use cream products on my cheeks that much because I'm lazy and I feel like they take more time. So that's why I'm anti-hauling them. But they are so goddamn beautiful. And when I first saw them, I was like, I need to go buy one. But I'm not because I know my makeup taste. I know myself. I know that I'm not my dream version of myself and that is okay. And I know I'm realistic, but goddamn it, Fenty. Trolls are terrifying. I've never been someone who's into the Trolls movie. I've never been like a Trolls fan. And so when I saw this collection from Pure, I was like utterly disgusted. Oh, is that rude? I don't know. I just utterly disgust. If you're a fan of Trolls, like, all power to you, but I am not. I think they're kind of creepy. Like, it's just not my bag. But when I saw this collection from Pure, it was like automatically like, get out, go. Like, bye. Mainly because it's Trolls and I have no interest in Trolls. And then secondly, the palette shaping is so horrible. Okay, so it's a square shape on the outside and then there's like a circle of shadow inside surrounded by like unevenly cut pan sizes. Back to being a math major, I just told you all about Fenty and why I love their little components because it like brings out the geometry in me. These piss me off. These pan sizes piss me off. And this is probably unique to me. Like, this probably is not a problem for anyone else. Everyone else is probably looking at me like, what the fuck? Like, what is wrong with you? But the pan size that's in here triggers something in me because they're uneven and just not right and just I feel like I couldn't get a comprehensive look out of any one of these either, so it's just like all over like, no thanks, bye. Too Faced is releasing something that also was very tempting to me. Too Faced is releasing a cream concealer, and the shade range looks decent. It looks like I could find my color. It looks like my deeper skin friends could find a color. Like, cool, wonderful, glad that they're doing that. But I have to remind myself all the time. I used to be a cream concealer person, but the cream concealer would get so dirty and so disgusting because realistically, like, you can't control what gets in there. And cream concealer also, I'm putting it on acne on my face. I do have acne, even if you can't see it right now. I do have quite a bit of acne. And so when I dip in and put it on my face and like it's just an open cream that could grow things or have things fall into it, it really bothers me because I feel like, you know, I'm gonna break out again. That's the problem I have with so many concealers though. I'm very careful and very methodical about how I put my makeup on to minimize the chance of me getting acne from it, from me getting a breakout from it. So when I saw these, at first I was like, wow, those are beautiful. Like, I loved cream concealers in the past. Like, this is wonderful. And then I thought about it and I'm like, well, why did I stop loving cream concealers? I stopped loving cream concealers because I felt like they triggered my acne and clogged my pores, and that's how I feel about this one too. I think that's a really helpful thing to do when you're tempted by something, because like in my brain I always think, oh, I've loved that in the past, so I'll love it again now. But then I have to stop and think about, okay, why did I stop loving it? And for these, it's a very obvious reason. Or like bronzer. I used to really love like orangey tone bronzer because I am a terrible person who has no concept of shade. And I like saw an orangey bronzer and I'm like, ooh, like maybe. And then I had to think about, Why did I stop using it? I stopped using it because it looked ridiculous on me and it wasn't meant for me. And that's how I feel about this, is like, it's not meant for me. I know why I stopped using it, and goodbye. The very last thing I'd like to talk about today is the thing that I saw that pissed me off the most. So let's get into it. It's the new Hello Happy Powder Velvet Foundation Stick. And it's from Benefit Cosmetics, and the reason why I am so pissed off about this is because not only does it not include my shade, which, what the fuck, it also doesn't include any shades for anyone who's deeper or darker or like not medium. They completely ignored anyone who didn't fall in that mid-range, and that's really fucking annoying. Like, at this point in the game, everyone has been releasing, you know, more shades. Either whether it's to look good or whether because they actually care, I don't even give a fuck anymore. It's just like, you're completely ignoring us. Like, hi, we're here. Like, you don't care. You really don't care. Oh, well, fuck you. There's like this misconception that if I make things super light or if I make things super deep, well, only a few people will buy those, so they won't be as profitable. But I guarantee you, when you do that, those people will be so grateful that they will become like a lifelong customer. When I first tried, and this was back in 2015 before everything came out about her, but the KVD Lock-It Foundation, that was the first foundation that I found that could fit my skin tone, and I became like a KVD beauty stan. Not stan, but like, I purposely would buy and shop from her because I felt seen. I felt noticed. And so the fact that Benefit is doing this is like, you're just losing people. Like, no one cares. Benefit is so lost, and I don't even think they know who they're marketing to anymore, and they're just falling off the ropes, and goodbye. I don't care. If you don't care about me, I don't care about you. Fuck you. Like, have a nice life. Bye. I lied. There's one more thing I want to talk about. I want to talk about the Colourpop x Sailor Moon collaboration. And I want to say, when I first saw this, I liked it. I thought it was beautiful. I thought you could get a nice soft look out of it. And that is coming from someone who never watched Sailor Moon, so like, maybe I'm wrong. I don't know. The cat blushes were really cute, whatever they're called. The palette was pretty cute. I mean, it was light. Like, it was real light. You couldn't make any deeper looks. But like, I respect that maybe that's what some people want. And then I was watching a video from a girl named Amanda here on YouTube. I will link her channel down below. And she talked about, well, this isn't going to work on deeper skin tones. And I looked at it, I'm like, yeah, like, you're right. Like, you probably couldn't get anything than a very light look out of this. And then she went on to say, well, why don't people, I get that this is trying to be soft, but why don't people think of dark skin when they think of soft? Like, that's a huge problem. And I agree. Like, I totally agree. I feel like whenever we see anime-inspired collections or even Korean beauty-inspired collections, they often are trying to be soft, and in being soft, they exclude black people. Especially when there's like pastels involved and stuff. And black people, like, they want soft makeup too. It's not like they want like huge, crazy, bold makeup all the time. There's tons of black people who want that too, and they can't find it. And that's why I think Colourpop messed up so greatly on this. I think what they should have done if they wanted to nail that soft look is they should have had one palette for pale, light skin, or like pale medium, and then they should have had one that's aimed towards medium dark. And they should have just saturated it more on the medium dark, because then you'd still get like a cute, like, soft makeup look for someone with darker skin, and you'd still stick to the color vibe, and you could still have that for someone with lighter skin too. Like, it would be best of both worlds. I believe Sydney Grace did this recently, where they had the same palette, but they just switched out the transition shades and like made them more saturated for the darker one, or made them less saturated for the lighter one, and people loved that. I think that's the direction that brands should move into. I think that's also something that I complain about a lot, is like, either it's too dark for me, or like, even like, it's too light that no one else could use this. So we need to try and like strike a balance, and maybe that balance is having two separate products that are similar, but just like slightly more saturated or something. I don't know what that balance is, but that's my idea of how we could get there. And it's so important to get there because there are so many people with so many different types of makeup looks in every race, and every gender, and to categorize people and say, oh, well, you can't have softer makeup looks because you have deep skin is just so wrong and so not good. Like, it's just bad. And the same goes for pale skin people. Like, to categorize them and be like, oh, you look so pretty when you have light makeup on. I hate that phrase. Maybe I want to wear dark makeup. Like, maybe I want to be goth one day. How about that? Like, let's just stop stereotyping people and let's make products that everyone can use and everyone can love and no one feels excluded from because of their race. Like, that's just so stupid and I hate it. With that being said, this is the end of my anti-haul. Don't forget to use your reusable drinking apparatus. Today mine is this thermal flask that was gifted to me by my mom. I love it. We are saving the turtles and trying so hard not to produce more plastic than needed. I'm thinking about doing a video on how coronavirus is affecting plastic use, because if you don't know, Starbucks has stopped accepting reusable cups for the time being, which I think is perfectly justifiable and that they should be doing that, but it's making some people in the zero waste community upset. But like, protection of health is way more important than plastic sometimes. Like, you have to pick and choose your battles. So I'm thinking about doing a video on that. And if you disagree with anything that I've said, or if you have a different opinion, that's okay. You can leave it down below for me. And I've been thinking about making this anti-haul thing a series on my channel where I do it once a week, because it's really been helping with my low/no buy. And yeah, I just really enjoy doing this. I really enjoy ranting about things that make me upset. And makeup sometimes makes me very upset. And sometimes it makes me very happy. So it's kind of a pick and choose battle thing again. I say that a lot. Anyway, with that being said, continue having a wonderful day and being a wonderful person, and I will see you next time. Don't forget your reusable drinking apparatus, and bye!